Okay, so at the moment I'm at that point to where we're ready to put the final coat of primer on the Miata and paint it. However, my son doesn't have his garage set up yet after all this time, so that we can go ahead and jump into it and get the paint done. So that leaves me with time on my hands to play. And I have a few things I would like to do to it. One thing I really like to do is get some fender flares from a 80 to 81 Camaro Z28 and put on the side. But right now that's at $215 and I'm not sure if I really want to invest that in it at the moment. But however, I have some fender flares which I'm not going to use unless he wanted to put wider tires on it and cut the fenders, which I really don't want to do that. So I'm going to skip the flares, but I want to put this on. I have one that's shorter. If he doesn't like it, well, hopefully I'll use it on the 95 if I ever decide to go through with building that. But in the meantime, I'm not going to drill or rivet this on. I want to fiberglass it on to give it a nice one-piece finish as well. But in applying this, I've noticed that the tape, if you get one of these, the tape is not thick enough to where it's really going to hold it in place. So I think that was the problem I was having when I put one of these on the on my '07 Camry. But now, with knowing that, I did pick up another roll of tape, which I'm hoping is going to thicken it out enough just to sit it in place. And once it's in place, I'll be able to go back and do my fiberglass work. So I'm going to take this here first, strip off. And apply a strip of this to it. I'm gonna wait before I remove the tape on this to make sure it's pretty wide, so I might be able to cut it in half to make sure I have enough to go around. So what I'm going to do now is just basically get me a measurement. Then I'll come back and do my final cuts and see, because that is the end of the road. So I'm going to finish sizing this up and we'll be back for application. Okay, so like I said, I used a Loctite power grip mounting tape because it says it holds up to 100 pounds per roll. I don't know exactly how much that'll be per inch, but this here was the 3/4 by 60 inches. And I went with this because it said it was super strong, it's double stick, it's for high temperature resistance from negative 40 degrees up to 248 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, as a matter of fact, it's not one of the stronger holding ones as far as some of the others. It says this here, it holds up to 11 pounds. So that's 100 pounds per roll. I cut it in half The main thing I just need for it to do is to stick long enough, flat enough to the surface, long enough to hold it in place with a good bond while I apply the fiberglass. So with that said, I have it marked off, and let's go put it in place. Okay, so once again, this is what I'm using. And like I said, this here is a long one. The short one will come about right there. But this one here, it fits in right there, and I think I'm gonna go with it. Okay, it's up a little bit here and a little bit here, so I'm gonna try something for that. For my first attempt, I'll be calling on good old Gorilla. Let's see. And with previous experience, as I see it's gonna run, so I'm trying to trap it. So I'm gonna just let that sit in place, and hopefully it'll be enough pressure to make it stay down. Okay, to wrap this session up, um, I went ahead and put a bead of that clear Gorilla Glue around the whole edge. Now what I'll do is I'm gonna come back and okay, and look at that, it's still wet under there. But anyway, I'm gonna come back, smooth this part out, and then Bondo, layer Bondo, get the Bondo worked out, then fiberglass. Okay, so that's it for placement. The glue did hold pretty good around the edges and seeping up under there the way I wanted it to for the most part. So the next step will be bonding.